You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
Great. How are you, Ggreg, Chaille?
So life is good?
Yeah. Doug left yesterday. They're in the UK for 5 weeks.
That's fantastic. You should do a live podcast on Halloween.
No, we're haunting the Black Knob suicide house. My brother's sending up a bunch of gear from Ghost Ride. You know, we'll scrounge around at the local thrift stores for some other stuff, and we'll haunt the front entrance again. It won't be like last year. We had Doug and Chad and the neighbor kids came by. I think everyone told it was like 4 people came to the house. So we're pulling out the stops.
We're hoping to double it this year.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
So I saw one of the ladies that does the haunted hayride. Well, whoever they are that did the haunted hayride in California, they went on Shark Tank. To franchise their idea of, franchise, expand it. They were going to make a stationary park, and they shot them down so quick.
That's the thing I love about Shark Tank is that you get the feeling sometimes that the people presenting their product have never seen the show, because it's like so outrageous that, I mean, part of that's probably just because you're blind to criticism or negativity when you're so driven, you know, but they somehow, they get lost of like even common sense. Like there was one guy who had an ice cream truck. No, it was a pedal bike, like the old timey ones where it had a big, put dry ice in a cooler on the front of your bike, and it's a trike, and you pedal around through the neighborhood. He wanted to franchise that idea.
I'll invest.
Oh, there's John.
See?
Well, I'm glad you're in on the ground floor. We're going to make $1 million.
Yeah. The idea is delivery service with a bike.
and that's the pitch. Is that I got this great idea, this okay logo, and then the sharks are like, well, this is not what would prevent me from just going out and finding out who your vendor is. Well, I've got these ideas. And he's like, well, the first thing I do is change the name. Oh, I'm not going to change the name. It's like, what did you come here for? Did you shove it down someone's throat? Oh, John, we're talking about Shark Tank and them being pitched a haunted house franchise opportunity.
It was the hayride.
Hayride, yeah.
The paintball one. And what happened was they came to it, and he's right. Ggreg was saying it's almost like these people have never seen the show when they go on it, because she pitches the number, and they do the basic breakdown. Well, I get 20%, and you want $500,000. They go, so you're saying this is going to make $20 million next year? And they're like, well, yes. And he goes, where do you get these projections from? And the lady goes, well, that's what our marketers said.
Yes.
The people that are selling their ads. He goes, yeah. Well, I'll sell you ads if you're going to make $20 million.
Or the classic is when they say Halloween is the biggest growing holiday or not holiday. It's not a holiday. It's celebration event. It's right next to, it's right behind Christmas. And it's like, wait a minute though. That's not haunted house tickets or hayride tickets. That's the shit that you're buying in like bulk from China. The little skull, twinkle lights, or the punch bowl that looks like a carved out brain. And those are the things.
You just described like everything in Becker's house.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's exactly it. They're going to win every year.
Yeah.
You're going to win one of them. Yeah. And that was the thing. They jammed them up. They go, do you have an exclusive on this? And they go, well, we own the name. And he goes, well, could somebody else start one? And they go, yeah, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah, classic.
Especially once we went on Shark Tank and said we project $20 million.
I did read it. I forgot what the guy was on Shark Tank trying to get money for a camera in your door so that when someone rings your doorbell, you see who it is right away.
Oh, that product is out now.
Yeah, they didn't fund it, but he like stuck with it, and now it's like worth a lot more money than he originally projected on the show, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the agreement that you have when you go on the show is if you accept the Sharks offer, there's a percentage that goes to the production company in perpetuity. So if this thing ends up, skyrocketing, there is a provision for the production company to also, take a bite of that apple.
Wow. It's kind of like, if you win American Idol, like basically that show owns you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
They always said take third, you'll make more money.
Yeah.
Take third. Yeah, it's Dorji, whatever that guy's name is. The guy who wrote the song and performs it whenever they do something about fallen soldiers or returning soldiers. Coming Home, I think, is the song.
Yeah, that actually is a bigger market now than Christmas. I'm still trying to get the blood moon out of my eyes.
Use soda water and don't use anything. Don't dry it until you make sure the stain's out.
I tried to watch it through a piece of paper with a hole in it.
What
is that? Is that what you have to do?
That's a solar eclipse, Becker.
No, it was raining out. I just poked a hole in a piece of paper and stood out there. About got pneumonia. Could be my last one. I don't think I'm going to make it 30 years with the cold I got from waiting.
I feel like, didn't we just have a blood moon not too long ago? Like,
we did about 2 years ago, but this was a super blood moon, John.
Why is the moon doing all these things now? I don't like it. I feel like the moon's planning something.
I think there was only 4 of them since like the early 1900s. So this was kind of a big deal. But I mean, we went up on the roof here at the Funhouse and gave it 35, 40 seconds, and then fucking came back down and started making more drinks.
Did you really? No, you had some good pictures.
I didn't take them. Someone else went up there.
Okay.
I don't expect, to all of a sudden see a big bite taken out of the moon or anything, but I didn't get what was going on, and we didn't have a telescope, and it was just kind of beautiful, clear night. But yeah, I do remember in elementary school there being an eclipse and them scaring the fucking shit out of us about not looking into the eclipse.
Yeah, he'll be blind forever.
But then one smart teacher was like, she took a scientific approach and like came up with these ways to where you could see it. Like you put like Becker, you put the pinhole in the paper, and you take another piece of paper and you kind of focus it onto the lower piece of paper, so you actually get the shape of the eclipse on the thing. Mm-hmm. Rather than saying don't look at the sun, she came up with a way to like make it kind of fun. But
yeah. And it is, though. It is very funny that they had during the turn of the century, people would stare at it and then they would be blind. And that was why you had all those people during the Depression with cups and pencils.
Really?
Yeah, they were all blinded from the eclipse. But, well, think about it. When you're basically the Depression, you were homeless, you were on the streets, you were just outside. And when the eclipse happened, you had nothing else to do. It was like free TV. It was like before Netflix. Nobody
was telling them not to look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, they didn't have a budget for that. They didn't have a budget for people.
Becker, are you writing a version of history book? The Becker's version of history?
I think, yeah. I think there's a lot of things people overlook. They found water on Mars, for God's sakes. Who didn't predict that? Because, first, remember, they found massage parlors, so you knew there had to be water.
Well, that new Matt Damon movie didn't predict it.
Yeah, all he had was what he brought with him, right?
Yeah. And in reality, he could have had a bunch of salt water, but still.
But for them to say like water has been found on Mars, I feel like it, cause I followed the links. I saw the clip from NASA, real dry, real boring. But them saying like water on Mars is found is like saying like the pit where all the feces and manure slides out from a pork farm. They have those big open troughs, and it just, that's water too. The water on Mars is like super salinated that it's not growing anything. It's not like what we would consider water. Did you guys get that part? Did you even?
Yeah, no.
But if it's, water at all, it's possible that it could support some sort of life. And maybe not something that we would even imagine as life, but.
Well, they believe they have enough water now, it could be called Beverly Hills. They have the same.
Mars has way more water than California.
A saline monster could be supported by the water on Mars.
I don't know. I'm not really keeping up with everything going on. I don't know. I have enough trouble keeping up with the news on Earth. Everything going on outside of the atmosphere is kind of beyond me.
We had huge news actually yesterday. Is that Shell has pulled out after the government streamlined all their permits to go. Okay, you can drill in the Arctic.
This is where they were taking that big platform and shooting it up from Seattle.
Yeah, where they all went out in their plastic or their petroleum kayaks and protested petroleum, which was still hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got it up here and they set it up and then they decided, we're just not going to do this. And they're pulling out completely. And this is why you don't trust oil companies. State of Alaska.
Yeah.
They said that the oil would be too expensive to get to, and there wouldn't be enough of it, and the prices are too low. So is that a win for the protesters, or is this just like a?
Well, the problem with it is it's just, when you commit to a state and they had actually, I think, futuristic budgeted it, and now they're just going, well, we don't have to do it. And I go, then take all their leases back. Take every lease. If you're going to pull out like that, just take all the leases back. I don't understand why our politicians think they can just sit back and go, oh, they'll treat us right. Yeah, like Exxon did when we had this spill. They'll treat you fine. That was their complaint. They go, well, the state of Alaska could have done more, and they're really screwing the pooch. I'm surprised they didn't blame Volkswagen for lying on their emissions for the reason they're not doing it. Why not blame everybody but yourself, you mismanaged pile of shit?
Yeah, that was that's unfortunate for you guys because all you guys continue to do is shoo away money in your state.
Well, it's not shooing away. We're also not the African Horn, where we're going to have 3 levels of graft before they drill holes in our only water supply.
Well, I'm talking about the vote you guys had. I think it was last year where you basically gave the oil companies a $2 billion tax break.
That was crazy.
So that they would increase, so that it wouldn't be unprofitable to continue to drill for oil.
And let's remind every future laid off slope guy that you voted for that, and that's what they're doing now. So next time Lucy holds the football and you swear this time she won't yank it back, remember, you're going to be on your ass, Charlie Brown.
They can't hear you, Becker. They're all moving to Texas right now. They're packing.
Well, good. Texas can use them.
Actually, that's where most of them are from, right?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Becker, you run into a lot of those guys in the birdhouse.
I only know the good people. I don't know the other ones. But
those guys tell you about what's going on up there, and a lot of those guys, they never even drop down. They don't drop any money in Anchorage because they're just basically on a layover, getting back to Texas or California or wherever they're coming from to work up in the fields.
Hence why the first thing the governor should have done is put an income tax in. How do you let guys take $100,000 a year and then go down to, we'll say, Lake Havasu and spend it there? And they actually pay income tax in Lake Havasu on the money they made here. But if they get stuck for 24 hours in Alaska, they fucking can't believe the inconvenience.
Yeah.
Starbucks and Cinnabons. Good job, fatty.
Becker, I don't know if you saw this. You probably did, but John, you can excuse yourself if you have to. There was an announcement. Well, actually, you can make something up. Trump announced his tax plan. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
I mean, Trump's numbers are coming down a little bit while other candidates are actually increasing. So I don't know how longer this dog and pony show is going to go on, but it is interesting because now he's actually having to throw some plans out there where it's always, up till now, it's always been, wait till you see what I'm going to do. I am going to put together a team that we're going to have all these answers. We're going to work it all out.
He's a carnival barker. He wants you to do it, but wait till you see inside the tent, the bearded lady. And you go, that looks like spirit gum on her chin.
This way to the great egress.
But the only thing that pisses me off is when they go, he went down in the polls today, according to GOP's polling.
Yeah.
The party polling is deciding he's going down. I go, that's not really legitimate.
The party that hates him.
Yeah, the group that doesn't want him as a member.
Yeah. He's too popular. We don't want him.
I mean, I guess technically he could hire great people to come up with a tax plan.
He could Steve Jobs the whole thing and just hire the best people and then stand there and take credit.
And I got no problem with that. A great leader knows that he can't do everything, and he assembles a team. But basically what this plan is saying, and I haven't really looked into it too much other than what the news reports were this morning, is that anyone who's making, any individual that makes less than $25,000 a year is paying no income tax. And any couple that doesn't make more than $50,000 combined, they will pay no income tax.
Right, which is fair.
Well, but the tax we have to pay for this government somehow. I mean,
well, you could always close all the corporate loopholes. You could maybe have GM pay, not get a rebate at the end of the year for energy saving your GM. He's
basically saying that this tax plan is not going to be pretty for the hedge fund guys and all the guys who really pay no income tax or very little compared to the amount of money that they make.
And as much as he's a nut job and everything else, you have to give him credit for the fact he isn't beholden to the donors or people give to him, but at the same time he goes, I don't care if the hedge fund guys don't donate to my campaign.
Yeah.
What do I give a shit? Plunge the market, I'll bet against you.
I'm excited to see what happens. It's gonna start heating up, and I'd never thought I'd say I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with the GOP, but it's gone far enough that it seems like there's a little bit of a momentum for these people that aren't entrenched and part of the system that's been churning out the same problems.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is technology is amazing right now, and then mankind is just disappointing me. So I'm like fascinated. So when they go, we're going to replace with robots, I go, hurry
up.
I would love to go do comedy in front of a bunch of robots. It'd be fucking great.
Guys, I'm back. What are we talking about?
Nothing, John. We took a break.
Yeah.
I need to follow politics better, probably.
No, you don't. No,
Gooder. Don't. Follow him, Gooder.
I did read a thing all about like why we read the news and politics and why we read all these things, even though 98% of the stuff we read, if we follow the news closely, doesn't apply to our lives at all.
I'd probably say more than 80%.
So last night I'm playing poker, and John, this is how politics can affect you. Because I'm playing poker, and there's a guy he's from, we'll say Serbia, and there's another guy from the Ukraine, but the other guy put him down as Russian Jim or whatever his name is. And he's been here 7 years. He has a wife. Apparently he's not divorced yet, because it was iffy if he was still with her. And he goes, no, we've been together 7 years now. He's framing up here, doing jobs. Anyway, they started talking about America and how we fucking bullshit, and Putin's, he stands up. He's a real man. And the Ukraine, he's in the northern part. And so he changed him from Russia to the Ukraine. I go, you're moving down in the phone list by doing that. But, so that was funny. And then they started talking openly. And the guy sat there bagging on the U.S. for fucking probably 5 to 7 minutes because they're waiting for hands. And these two are talking. And I'm in between them. So I don't say a word. And finally, I said, okay, enough. I go, well, if I ever find myself in your country framing houses, I guess I won't talk shit about it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big patriot, but I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of immigrants now that they don't give a fucking shit about the U.S. And I was like, why don't we put you on the next bus back to the Ukraine? Oh, you don't want to go there? You want to stay here, frame houses, have your on again, off again wife? And I get it. But at the same time, it's amazing the quality at which we get.
Plus, he'd never make it if you put him on a bus.
No, he's gonna.
Not unless it was one of those duck trucks or whatever in Seattle.
Well, I think we saw this. That might be dangerous too. Talk about a blind spot.
So do you think? So what you're saying is people are coming here to make money, not necessarily to be a part of America. And why do you think that is? At what point did it stop being like coming to America to find be part of the American dream? Opportunity.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I get it. It's always been kind of like that, but at the same time, I think it's even more polarized. You have cities in which they can't stand the U.S. Look at the protests when they're doing the illegals in California. They were waving Mexican flags going, fuck America, burning flags. I go, I don't know how that says that you're you want to stay.
But
I mean,
at the same time,
if you burn your lease for your apartment, your landlord's kicking you out.
I've burnt a lease for an apartment, and you know what? It got the point across. Here's the thing, though. Alaska wants, like, a bunch of Alaskans want to succeed from the United States all the time. Texans are always trying to get out. They're still the Republic of Texas. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. So it's not
the
just the
success-
illegal immigrants. It's a bunch of Americans that are also like, God, this fucking place.
Well, the South.
Well, it sucks being-
That's what they wanted to originally do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to, and we saw how that worked. They got a few reality shows out of it, but that was about it. I mean, my thing is it was kind of amazing to me to just sit there going, wait a minute, you're completely here. He goes, the work's been pretty steady, so I'm good. I'm working indoors. I'm not working out in the shit, And that was his thing. I'm going, well, then how are you so disgruntled?
Yeah,
What's the
very
downside?
seems very hypocritical in that, going back to where he originally came from. I don't know if he was born there and then came over, or what his circumstances were. But it would seem that if you could go back and it's better there, then why wouldn't you? Other than the fact that, well, there's no opportunity over there, and here there's plenty of opportunity, plenty of work. And look, I can sit here and play cards with a bunch of the locals, and life is good. But that seems hypocritical, doesn't it?
Well,
right.
but at the same time, it's the great thing about America is you can come here and work and make money and make a good living, but you can also go to a
send
poker
it back
game
home.
and you can list off all of the things you hate about this country and complain about it, because in a lot of countries, I don't know about Ukraine, probably not in Ukraine, but some countries you can't do that.
No, there's
There,
people
countries.
listening
What,
for when
John?
you do that.
So he's being more American than us. He's
He's a true anti-patriot.
Yeah. God bless him.
He
God bless
contributed
America.
nothing. He contributed nothing to our society, and then
Did you take his money in the poker game?
no, I ended up getting knocked out, but it was all right. I got
Then
knocked
that's-
out by
And
American.
that's on you to get that money back from Ukraine.
No, it wasn't that. It was just hysterical because I let it go. I was going, I don't want to open a can of worms here because I already did the Ukraine. You're moving down in the phone list, but
Well, you're there to play poker too.
yeah, but it was fun, and I always joke around. I joke around. There were like 5 different nationalities at my table, so the idea I pissed one off didn't bother me.
It's a fucking veritable UN of poker.
Such a diverse community we have.
So, John, I have to ask you, after last week, the goggles were awesome, the chicken goggles.
Yeah.
But I have to add, but I don't expect you to have any more information on those. But
I don't have much information on chicken
the
goggles.
powdered peanut butter, what happened there?
After buying it and using it once, it's just gonna sit there for a long time.
Bring me some. Bring some to work. I'll make drinks with it.
Okay, deal. I'll bring in some for
See,
you.
that's what it's
I'll bring
good
it
for.
I'll bring it in a baggie. I don't want to bring the whole jar.
Yeah,
A
no,
little
yeah.
baggie of powdered peanut butter.
Just make it look like personal use. You're good.
Yeah,
Less than an ounce.
yeah. I like the idea of powdered peanut butter. I just hope it has a long shelf life.
Probably be really good, like in a vanilla shake. You just throw
Yeah.
that in there too.
I need
But
to
like
get on,
with putting it on
shake.
eggs, anything.
Eggs.
eggs.
Put it on eggs, just in with that casserole they do with the little French onions. Mix
Oh,
it
yeah,
in
yeah.
there. Oh, that'd be fantastic. And make it taste like what do you call it? Like peanut sauce.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
Becker, that's your old top ramen pad thai.
Yeah, pad thai. I know. I still want to do that. I'm gonna get a bicycle
Yeah.
and some dry ice. I'm going on Shark Tank. I'm going on Shark
Dry
Tank.
ice is not easy to find. Speaking of dry ice, we were shooting a little short film on Saturday, and we needed some dry ice.
Fred
and-
Meyer's, $2.79 a pound.
Really? I was going to Cars. I went to two different.
I
Cars.
often forget which one it is too, but there's one of them. It's always there. I think there's a penguin on the kind of a stereotype.
That's what I was looking for, and the Midtown Fred Meyer didn't have it.
It's usually over like near the after you're leaving, and it's usually near where the gumball rack is, which I think is
No,
really
it's not.
weird.
It's by the U-Scan. You scan it yourself, and then you find the ice, and then she goes, do you want to use U-Scan? And I go, absolutely not. So I went around tobacco, and then she wouldn't let me. She goes, I'll do it over here. I go, I'm not putting my money in the use can. I support American workers.
Oh, you don't like the thing where you can scan your own
U-Scan. Go fuck yourself.
bag your own
they
stuff?
They put incompetence now in all the registers just so you'll be forced to use U-Scan. And I don't. I'll let the kid that apparently has some kind of disability that puts the change in his mouth. He'll ring me up. I'm good.
I don't use the U-Scan, but not because I want to, create more jobs in the grocery industry, just because it's more of an inconvenience. Like, I'm all about just efficiency in and out of the grocery store, and the U-Scan, like, every time you try to put your jar of powdered peanut butter in a bag, it says, like, item not properly bagged, and you have to, like, wait for the one lady who's managing 15 U-Scan stations to come and, like, fix it for you.
Yeah, she's lost. And
that's no way to live. I don't have 45 minutes to learn how to check out my own groceries.
Right in the middle of my checkout, the only time I ever used it, right in the middle, there was like an Amber Alert, and they shut all the registers down. Look around to see if we could find the kid. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
So, did you find some dry ice eventually, John, for your project?
No, we just used a fog machine. We just needed fog, so we got one of those fog machines that is good for about 10 minutes and then breaks.
Yeah.
And then will never work again.
Oh.
So.
That's why you buy 2 of everything, John.
Also, I've got like 7 broken fog machines I need to sell. If anybody needs fog machines.
That's a bad ad.
For parts.
You've got 7 gently used fog machines that you're willing to part with for quite a deal.
Not one of them has been used for more than 15 minutes.
Yes,
I swear.
less than 15 minutes runtime combined. All 7 machines.
Remember, it's just like a car, John. Always give them the simple fix. All you gotta do is take that main line, soak it in hot water for 10 minutes, and the thing will be up and running. But I didn't have that kind of time. Maybe you do. Half price.
Comes with half a bottle of fog juice. Come on.
What you're supposed to do, because I had to actually maintain the outdoor fog machines at Busch Gardens in Tampa, Florida, during their Halloween events. And these are the big LeMaitre and all these fucking high end big dollar rolling like units, right? But they're crippled by that same feeder tube that takes the cottonseed or linseed oil mixture to the heating element. So what you do is, and this probably works with the ones you've got, John, is you just get some distilled water and then you run it through until it's taking that straight water to the element, and then it burns off as steam, and it cleans that line from getting clogged up.
Don't listen to Greg. Greg's crazy. He doesn't know crap about Halloween stuff. I will buy all of them for $20 right now. $20. John sold.
Guys, it is 2015. I can take a picture of my dick right now and send it around the world immediately, but we can't design a fog machine that doesn't get clogged after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What are scientists even doing anymore?
Hence why the sex robots are taking a while.
Yep. Keeps getting clogged. Gotta run some distilled water through that thing.
A little distilled water will fix it.
Oh my god. Isn't that, I actually read an article about sex bots and how it's basically like there's nothing we can do. Sex bots are coming.
It's like back when we were kids, they were scaring us with the Africanized bees were coming up from South America, and it's been 30 years and they're just getting here.
Yeah.
It feels like that long.
Travel slower than the people.
The sex robots are taking their fucking time getting here. What's going on?
Well, there's the fleshlight is basically, they're saying the fleshlight is basically the start of the revolution where we will all no longer need interpersonal relationships, because we're just going to have these sex robots and we'll just decide, like, just like we decide not to go to the movie theater anymore because we have Netflix, we're going to decide not to go to bars and meet people. I'll just stay inside and fuck my robot / microwave / cell phone.
So when you say you have a virus in the future, it'll be a software virus.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think it all started with the Sony Walkman, because it really got us that portable experience.
You fucked the Sony Walkman.
I don't even know how that would work, Greg.
Hey, look, man, we dated for a long time first. This was a beautiful relationship.
That was our song.
Over and over again. No, the Walkman was like this chance for you to actually retreat within yourself, and it comes in handy when you're on the subway or a bus, or you're in a situation where you want to tune out what's going on around you. And from that point on, it's just the devices have gotten smaller to where we really don't have to be engaged in anything around us. We can continue. I mean, I've got Bluetooth fucking headphones that when I'm walking, I mean, I'm unfettered by wires, and I'm not even paying attention to what's going on around me. And I think that's just continued since the late 70s, early 80s when they started miniaturizing everything, and that the Sony Walkmans came out.
Well, I mean, look at online dating like Tinder and stuff. Basically, like completely skips the part where you have to deal with rejection.
Yes.
Which like is like a really important part for like everybody's life, is to have to like, go talk to a girl and get rejected like, 10 or 20,000 times before you find that girl who doesn't reject you. And it builds character and turns you into like a decent person who understands other people's feelings.
It's like dirt for your immune system. It's important when you're young to get rejected. If you can get instant gratification, you'll never work at the post office.
Yeah. And so now we're skipping that with online dating, where you can just swipe right. If nobody has to say no, they can just ignore you. So we skip the rejection, and next we're just going to skip the whole like having to even deal with another person.
To look at another human in the eyes.
Yeah. Instead of having to like explain like why your dick looks weird to like an actual person, you're just going to have sex with a robot that doesn't ask any questions.
Yeah, the robot, it just flashes a screen.
Well, actually, it will ask questions, but it's an upgrade.
Yeah, that's the revenue stream.
Would you like to reboot? So I don't know. I think it's just going to create horrible people. I think that's where we're going.
I think we're right on the teetering part right now.
Like into the abyss of what?
I think we're right on that edge of people are less civil. We've gotten right to the point where we're at the tilting point. We either become like Bangkok and make a ton of rules and
public caning and no spitting in public, or you get
gum
3
on
lashes.
the seats. They cane you if you gum on the seats. You go to Bangkok, I guess. I mean, I don't know where was it, Bangkok, or where do they have all the rules? I don't think it's Bangkok.
I thought they had no rules in Bangkok. That's why people went there.
Well, they
I think
don't.
you're
So they had
talking
martial law. Then they had a lot of rules.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but was it because remember the kid got caned back when we were kids? He got caned, and Doug and I went and met him at the Mall of America.
Indonesia,
somewhere in Indonesia, yeah.
But it was. I mean, I want to go there just to see how it worked. I mean, is it a good idea? I mean, they say solitary confinement at Pelican Bay is inhumane, but at the same time, you go, he's the most inhumane man on the planet. I don't see how you're saying it's cruel and unusual to keep a guy who ripped the guts out of his last cellmate, keep him in solitary. Either kill him or don't. But we are making purgatory out of prisons.
Well, to wrap up my sex robot tirade, I think it's going to definitely, like, the biggest effect, it'll just be the end of the fitness industry. Like, nobody's going to get in shape if they can just go home and fuck a robot. That's my theory.
I don't know.
Why would you
break your robot, John? What if you're bringing back your robot and they go, what the fuck did you do to this thing? It was set for 250. Hey, wildebeest.
You just have to get the model that's always on top.
I mean, yeah. Could you imagine being the bottom in that relationship? A stapler somehow is higher than you.
So, yeah, sex robots.
Yeah.
We seem to keep coming up with that topic about every month or two.
Do we?
We might, but the thing is they keep popping up in the news, and that's what.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that a lot of people, and again, ironically, last night while I was playing cards, one of the people at the table said, "My eyes have gotten bad. Like in the last year, I can't read shit." And I know 7 other people, at least, that are close that said, "I gotta go get my eyes." Something. I mean, they're just gone. Like they can't read like credit card prints. They can't read anything.
Do you think it's from staring at a phone?
Well, tell me this isn't a crazy idea. Could they have sped up in other words, the resolution's higher on all the phones now. They've increased it. But could the flicker of the higher resolution degenerate your eyes quicker?
I don't really know how screens work, so I don't know.
Well, look it up and stare at your screen, and you will.
You should go back and do a little investigation. Find out if all those people that have that their eyes are getting weaker. Find out if they all own fleshlights.
Yep.
Or high resolution phones is my point.
They're watching porn on their high resolution phones while they're using their fleshlight. It's a combination that is blinding America.
Well, what I started doing was I take a piece of paper, I punch a hole in it, and then I take another piece of paper. And I read the screen. It's not as accurate, but it's certainly safer.
You have to treat your smartphone screen like an eclipse. You have to look at it through two pieces of paper.
I would. I mean, if you're gonna, I mean, it's amazing the epidemic that I'm seeing, ironically, firsthand. And people are like, I mean, I'm talking 30 to up. And they're all freaking out. And I go, you don't understand. This is an AIDS thing. I think you're ruining your eyes. So then yesterday I pull up a thing. They now found out they can take embryos, connect them together, put them in your eyes and regenerate eye cells. So you can get your sight back.
But you have a tiny baby in your eye?
Well, technically.
I think you kind of
see the world through baby's eyes.
You kind of rolled over some of the details there.
Well, no, but here's the thing. No, they're taking embryo cells and they're connecting them together and they're putting them in. But I just made the joke that I said, I think they're ruining our eyes. They must have a way to replace them. And yesterday I pull it up and it says, hey, we can replace your eyes now. I go, oh, geez, I think I'm 100% on this.
Oh, man.
But do you realize that's why robots are going to take over? You're going to have to make embryo cells. You're going to have sex at least once a month with a girl just for the embryo cells.
I think you're talking about the cord blood in the embryonic cells in the cord blood. Is that what?
The partial birth, yes.
Yeah.
But,
that's why we need Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
Is that the same as stem cells?
I think that's what he meant by putting an embryo in your eye. Although the visual picture is much better. He paints a good picture with a little baby in your eye, like focusing.
That's what the GOP would say. They actually take the aborted baby parts and put them in your eye.
Yeah, that's creating jobs.
Like an arm. They take a baby arm and put it in your eye to fix your eyes.
Unlike the old days, now the baby, instead of he has your eyes, you have his.
Well, I turned 40 9 years ago. I turned 40 and I realized, my vision was just not as sharp and it was steadily declining where at, I think 41, almost 42, I finally went into to a doctor. It only took 2 years. And he was very like, oh, your eyes? Yeah. At about 39, 40, everyone's eyesight starts to go. And I'm like, what? How come no one fucking said this before? Like in health class, we went over a lot of shit in 7th grade, Mr. Cowdery's health class. None of it was, hey, and by about 39, 40, you're probably going to get these things called readers. You're never going to notice them until all of a sudden you need them. And then you realize how many people have readers. And they're going to slowly increase the strength. But I never knew any of that stuff. And, you know, in one trip to the dollar store, my vision was back.
I'm hoping by the time, the next 10 years that there is that they open up this eye embryo thing to everybody because I'm not taking care of my eyes at all. Like I wear contacts and I just wear them for like weeks at a time without taking them out. And then when I take them out, I just maybe like I spit on them and put them back in. Like I'm just trying to go blind. So I need science to really take care of my eyes for me.
Well, 10 years, that's plenty of time for Becker to, crowdsource some funding for the Becker Baby Eye Clinic.
Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna. It's half daycare, half eye care.
Mark Cuban, can you do me a favor and just read the text on this piece of paper? No, you can't because it's too small.
That's
Let me give you a shot. a shot of baby embryo into your eyeball. Now give it a shot.
You don't want to talk about TV or Fury Road or the Muppets?
Mad Max Fury Road. Did you watch it?
Mad Max Fury Road. I actually watched it.
It's great, isn't it?
Right. There's some huge explosions going on in my neighborhood. I don't know if we're dynamiting.
Listen,
do you hear that?
Maybe someone's watching Fury Road next
No,
door.
it's literally shaking my house.
I know what it is.
Do you hear it?
Well, I can't hear it.
No, my entire slab is shaking.
Ooh, it sounds like
What
that.
is it? What is
It's,
it, John?
on the base, they are, I forgot what it's called. They're getting rid of,
Ordnance?
ordnance. They're getting rid of ordinances by blowing them up.
They're disposing of ammunition.
We
yeah.
couldn't do this outside of town in a state 3 times the size of Texas?
Well,
Nope.
you can't fucking somehow monetize this?
Do it
I'd love to
underwater?
watch them blow up shit.
Do it underwater down at the park strip?
They should sponsor like a demolition derby, and then like between rounds they just like blow up old buses. I'd watch that too. I'd pay for that. That's how we could be funding our military.
You're a ways away though, Becker. How are you feeling that?
No, that's what I'm telling you. It's shaking my house.
I was feeling it at my work, which is over by the university and the hospital.
Oh wow, Midtown. Not quite, but
Yeah,
enough.
it's called the UMed district.
Yeah. Well, speaking of explosions, I did see Fury Road.
Which is great, right?
Well, to me, it seemed like I'm a big fan of the Mad Max trilogies. I guess this would be the 4th one, right? There was Mad Max, and there's Road Warrior, then there was Beyond Thunderdome, and I think that's where it petered out. But this one just seemed like, since they were just driving the whole time, it felt like it was a beer run where the liquor store was closed, so they went back home.
Basically.
I was amazed with it. It seemed very, you know what I said? I watched it. We went and saw it in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
We had to sit closer. And, it seemed like they were selling you masks the entire time. Didn't it?
Masks
The guy
for
on
Halloween?
Yeah, the guitar guy bouncing on this thing. I was like, wow, that's a great costume. Hey, there's a great costume.
Guitar guy. Let's get into that. How unnecessary was that fucking flaming guitar? I mean, it looked cool.
It's the unnecessary things that really just spice it up, though.
But he never
Great.
pointed that fucking the headstock at anything to use that weapon.
Well, he didn't get a chance. He got knocked out pretty quickly. But I think he's just there to like add a soundtrack to the war party.
You mean power chords? He's basically he's playing half of Godzilla. I mean, he's not even playing anything.
When you're the only guitarist left in the world, like they're not going to be too picky. But so my theory is that this culture they love war so much that they like make it a party and they have to have a guitarist and drums.
Sure.
So it's like a parade. I don't know. I thought it was.
It would be the same if there was a guy sitting down at a keyboard, like Prince's white piano, Baby Grand.
Maybe a guy playing an organ.
It'd be a whole different thing.
Bagpipe.
Spoons. Clippity clop, clippity clop.
So yeah, a flaming guitar.
Yeah, I did like it, but it just seemed like it was just the road trip. There was never any kind of break from that, you know? I mean,
I'm making flaming spoons though. Thanks for bringing that up. That's fucking brilliant.
Flaming
spoons
spoons
are so annoying, but if I shut fire out every time I lift them up, that's fucking great.
Yeah, fire increases the eye appeal. But I did like I did see the first episode of Muppets last week. Big fan of that show in the 70s, 80s. I can't remember when it came out.
How'd they do?
It was good. They've kind of revamped the whole idea. Instead of it being a vaudeville like variety show, it's a Up Late with Miss Piggy. I can't stand Miss Piggy. That fucking character.
Yeah.
It's like eating glass to me. But everything else.
Liza Minnelli of my.
Everything else is good. John, are you a fan? You're younger than me. You're a fan.
I'm a big fan of the Muppets, but I haven't really watched the show or been keeping up with all the news. It is weird to me that like actual news is like reporting that Kermit and Miss Piggy like got a divorce or whatever, and the marketing is weird. The marketing is really weird for the show.
Yeah, it's definitely skewed. I mean, you can watch like Adventure Time, and you can tell that there's jokes in there for adults. But the Muppets, definitely, it's skewed more, I think, towards adults, and a lot of wry and inside humor, which I like.
Rick and Morty is a great show if you get a chance to watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I haven't given that one much. I'm a huge into Bob's Burgers right now.
Yeah, Bob's Burgers is great.
Yeah. Becker,
that's a recommendation. Bob's
Becker,
Burgers.
These are all cartoons. I don't know if you're familiar with these.
I'm familiar with
animations. People draw them.
Yes.
Stitch them together.
Couple people.
A couple people.
Half of China.
Koreans.
Yeah. A couple guys in Korea that do all these.
So what's coming up? You guys, you're getting ready for your snow. I saw that there's
snowed for like 10 minutes today.
Yeah.
So was it enough to be an official snow? Did it stick?
It didn't stick at all, and it's just been
I don't
raining.
think it counts as accumulation.
Yeah.
I did see some pictures up in the mountains a little bit, not too far, like up at Flat Top. I guess there was
Hillside got a dusting like a week ago, right?
I think Fairbanks got actually like 8 inches in town and 12 plus out of town. So they have their real official snow.
Yeah, but that's Fairbanks.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is we're on the same storm track. So we just didn't have the colder weather is all. Once we get cold, this rain will equivalent be 2 feet of snow, what we've had in the last few days.
Well, we don't really have any real weather to speak of. It hasn't rained as much, but as far as the insects that are appearing and disappearing, we went from the tussock caterpillar to the praying mantis and grasshoppers, and I don't know what's next.
The Bisbee bug of the week. What's the bug?
I don't know yet.
It's gonna start raining toads.
We're on a downward. We're on a downturn of the grasshoppers and praying mantis. So something's ready to pop. I just don't know what it is yet. And I never wanted. Tracy still has marks on her neck from that one caterpillar that she smeared into her neck.
Make sure you just put your boots upside down at night.
Yeah. Scorpions, that could be it. Oh, they did get a centipede, which are black, yellow, orange, and black, and red, double black. But they are they're fucking vicious, man.
Yeah,
and
those things will rip you apart.
Yeah, well, someone also said, hey, the pet stores will pay $50 for that. Well, we don't have a pet store in town here, so I don't.
Send them up here.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like I would have liked to have caught it, but then Shawnee, who was working on the house here, and builds part of the fun house, he was like he was immediately trying to smash it. And I'm like, no, I've got a container, a terrarium thing. We'll put it in there. Then I was thinking,
got a guy at a pet store.
Yeah. But then I'm thinking, wait a minute. Now that's all I need to bring this thing into the house and then it to get out in there. And yeah, it's big, man. It's meaty. It's a big fucking insect. But yeah, I hope that's not what shows up next.
Tracy.
Catch 2 of them and start breeding them.
How do you breed? And how do you even figure out which one is the male or that you have 2 males or you've got the right gender pair?
Here's what you do. You lift it up.
Yeah.
You tickle its stomach a little bit.
Yeah.
And if it bites the shit out of you, it's probably a
centipede.
If it refuses to talk to you the rest of the day, it's a female. But there's a lot of groping going on with this foreplay with those things.
Yeah. Which leg do you lift up to try and sex it?
We have this week, we have our next week, we have Rob Cantrell is coming up.
Oh, Rob Cantrell.
Yes,
hilarious.
He will be here for, yes, it's going to be fantastic. And I will be doing comedy at all the shows. So.
Oh, you're doing the whole week?
Yeah. Yeah, we officially made a transitional change, and I'm going to start, and it should be fun.
Rob Cantrell was
the Becker regime of comedy. I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah? Rob Cantrell, just a little FYI, he He was one of the contestants on Last Comic Standing first season with Ralphie May and Dat Fan.
Oh yeah,
bunch of those guys. And and I met him when he was opening for Hedberg on a tour.
Cool.
How long ago was Rob Cantrell up here last?
I think it was
a couple of years.
Couple of years, yeah, because I think I booked him before I left, and I wasn't in town when he came up.
He's hilarious. He's one of our favorites when he came up here.
Yeah. Big green guy, if you know what I mean.
Wink.
Wink.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
What do I got going? I got the 48-hour film challenge starts next week.
Oh, really? So, go ahead and send me a link to that, and I'll put that in the show notes.
All right.
So how does this work now? You get the premise.
I give people prompts, usually like maybe a color that has to be in their movie and a line and something else. And then they have teams have 48 hours to make a movie, turn it in. I have some judges judge it. And then we screen them all to Beartooth, and I give away all the entry fee money. Goes to the winning team, and I'm trying to maybe, I don't know, get some t-shirts or something. I don't know what I'm giving away. I bought a trophy. I bought a trophy at the Coots garage sale thing that I'm going to give away.
Nice.
So.
And now, will that be a trophy that goes with the winner, or is it like the Stanley Cup where it's returned every year to go to the new winner?
I don't know. I mean, I paid $2 for it, so I'm ready to give it away. If I had paid $5, I would have told them I need this back.
Yeah.
Feel free to travel around with it. Your picture's taken. But.
It seems that you're only into it for $2. You could probably go find another one for another $2.
I think if we take a Frangelico bottle and spray paint it gold, it looks a little bit like an Emmy.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
So we can stick a candle on top.
So that starts next week.
Next week.
And
if there's any aspiring filmmakers out there
that are in Anchorage
How
long? How many years have you been doing this, John?
This will be the 6th year I've done it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good job, John.
Thanks. At this point, it's all on autopilot. I basically just email some people and it works out. It seems to work out, but I kind of have a feeling this year is not going to work out as well as it has in the past because
seems like a great job for a robot.
Yeah, my sex robot. When it's not pleasuring me, it could be running my film challenge.
That's a write-off.
Yep.
Well, I know a lot of foreign filmmakers from poker, and they might be one. They'll be burning the American flag in it, but yeah.
Yeah, you throw a sex robot into your event, and all of a sudden there's a renewed interest.
Absolutely.
Dude, that's not even a camera. That's a wrench. You can't. How are you gonna?
Going to Vegas? Going down? Got tickets? John, you coming?
When are you going?
Going, let's see, November 8th through the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. 11th.
Are you going down for poker?
Yeah, we're going down and play poker and just cut around. Or wait, 8th through the 12th, yeah.
Veterans Day. You're going to spend Veterans Day in Vegas.
That is correct. I think that's where they go. And, yeah, it should be fun.
Are you are you into a competition, or is this just go down there and play the tables?
I wasn't sure I was going to go. There's a lot going on with everything. But then what happened was Alaska Airlines was running because remember the government was going to look into airfares being rigged and fixed.
Yeah.
And so now every airline has dropped the price of their tickets. So I'm going round trip to Las Vegas for $225.
Wow. From Anchorage, not Seattle?
No, from Anchorage.
Wow.
Straight flight?
Yeah, one's direct and the other one's Seattle layover for an hour.
You know, I just we noticed it on I think it was Sunday during the games. Southwest has a big ad campaign about them flying into Liberia and San Jose now.
Really?
Southwest Airlines.
Wow.
And I don't think the routing starts until mid-October or November. But yeah, because Southwest always flew down to Mexico and stuff, but they'd never flown to Costa Rica.
Yeah, that's Costa Rica this year, $1,200 round trip, first class.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's not bad at all. Ugh. I need to get out of here. Guys. It's snowing.
Yeah.
Let's go to Vegas, John. Come down to Vegas.
Ugh, I'm such a terrible gambler.
No, it's not about gambling. I'll show you the ropes. We know everybody down there. You'll have fun. You're just gonna have to serve drinks at older man's pool party.
This is like the beginning of every movie set in Vegas where like a gambler takes a young guy under his wing and then like next scene the guy's sucking a dick.
There's a scene in between. There's you going, I feel good about this.
There's your 48-hour movie challenge.
That's it.
That's your premise. Young kid entering Anchorage wants to rule the after hours card rooms.
I'll teach you how to take your last $3 and play Keno while you're waiting for breakfast.
I owe this Ukrainian guy $7,000. What do I do?
You know what's amazing to me is that when you're in Vegas, if you go to one of those little cafes, like I know the Flamingo has it, they have a cafe. They have a buffet, which is, whatever, $8 all you can eat. But there's 1 million people waiting at any time of the day or night when it's open. But there's a cafe on the side. And if you go to the cafe on the side, you go, hey, there's no waiting. You go in, sit down. It's like $30 for eggs and toast and a piece of sausage. But you can play Keno while you do it. But they don't charge you till you're done, which is rare in Vegas because they charge you for everything. They don't give you a blackjack hand early. But you could eat and you can blow all the rest of your money on Keno waiting to win. Can I get more coffee, please? I have to hit. Otherwise, I can't pay the.
You're going to wait it out?
Just the idea. I'm not leaving. It's hard to dine and dash.
Yeah, especially when your numbers it's ripe.
No, there's a turnstile going in and out of it. You pay before you walk out. All right. Well, it's been another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker in Anchorage, Alaska, waiting on snow.
I'm John Norris, also in Anchorage, Alaska, just dreading the snow.
And I'm Ggreg Chaille in Bisbee, Arizona, awaiting the next drop of insects. Gross.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Ggreg Chaille.
I just got an email from Alaska Airlines. Anchorage to Liberia, $379 one way.
Yeah, that's good.
Really?
Yep.
John, go to Costa Rica.
How much is it to come back?
$1 million.
Find out. I mean, or just stay. Just stay.
Oh, man.
I'll just slice that in later or earlier.
Editing magic.
Yeah.